Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington, bringing you guys another Pool Week video for the week of whatever the hell week it is this week, the 19th. And I got 4 books to review, all online, so sorry that I have nothing to show you guys. But hopefully the thumbnails work for this video, or I'm just not too lazy to have put them in this video in the description box. So if you guys don't want to hear me talk about one book but want to hear me talk about another book, just click on the time slot thumbnail thing and then skip right to that review, and I'll do my best of, keeping track of all this stuff. But whatever. 4 books. First book, Age of Ultron, book 10. Finally, this is over. It pretty much turned to shit by halfway through this. I wasn't like a lot of people that dropped off at like issue 1, 2, or 3, but I wish I was, because after those issues, I didn't get anything that I wanted to see. So all in all, this whole thing was pretty much a load of bullcrap. Pissed me off a lot, especially issue number 9. Had no idea what was going on. It was just ass. But issue number 10 was a lot better than issue number 9. It wasn't the shit show that issue number 9 was, but issue number 10, the thing that really got me was that throughout pretty much everything, we totally abandoned, everybody that was left. At the start of this, we had Hawkeye, we had Spider-Man, we had Black Widow, we had Moon Knight, we had Captain America, all depressed and stuff. We had Iron Man, Tony Stark doing all this other crazy crap and all this other kind of stuff, and Vision. And so I'm thinking this is what we're going to get. Then, once Wolverine and Sue Storm went back in time and did all this stuff for issues on end, ruined the whole book for me, ruined the whole thing. And it was just annoying every issue. And then in this issue, they kind of try to bring us not back to what I wanted, but they give us, more characters. They give us the Moon Knight, which I really wanted to see in this whole thing. They actually give it, and even though it's pretty much he's just drawn there. So I barely got that. They give us some Spider-Man, but actually Ultimate Spider-Man, because somehow some crazy stuff happened where the time dimension was all messed up. And I guess I'm spoiling this. The time dimension, so spoiler alert if you care. The freaking dimensions and stuff were all tore down, and now Galactus is in the Ultimate Universe, and this is how Angela comes to Marvel Universe and all this kind of stuff. And just screw it. Whatever. Age of Ultron book 10 on its own, not totally bad, but no, on its own, not very bad at all. But just together with this whole thing, screw it. I totally was annoyed by this whole title. Whatever. Moving on, next book, and the next 3 books I actually really enjoyed, and starting with a book that I don't read, but of course I read this issue because of my man. This is Indestructable Hulk, issue number 9. Of course I read this because Daredevil's in it, and because I'm not reading it, I'm not as surprised as maybe a lot of you other people were. I'm guessing that they were building up, because that's kind of what they inferred in this issue, that they've been building up a character that Bruce Banner has to check in with periodically to see how he's being treated at S.H.I.E.L.D. And of course that character is Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. And then we get a lot of cool Daredevil, Hulk, and S.H.I.E.L.D. team up in here. Really just Daredevil and Hulk. And I really like the way Mark Waid he really characterizes Daredevil. Of course, Mark Waid's perfect on Daredevil right now. But he really exploits the fact that Daredevil kind of jumps into things. He's very cocky if you think about it. He kind of jumps into things. A lot of times he knows what he's doing, but sometimes he kind of does it, freaking all cocky and just, takes it right in the ass, really. He just comes out, throws himself out there, puts himself in danger, and then he gets in all this trouble. And kind of Bruce Banner in this kind of exploits that a bit. There's this thing going on with a sonic gun, like that emits sonic noises, and so of course Daredevil is not. He doesn't do well with that stuff, and he's gonna go in, just all out Braveheart style into this fight without using the Hulk and dealing with this guy who has a sonic gun. And then Bruce Banner's kind of like, you don't really do well with those. And he's like, you know what? I think you're right. So there was a lot of humor in this. Mark Waid wrote this issue really well. Probably going to read this story arc and then drop off because I don't really care about Hulk. I'm only reading it because of my man Daredevil, because you give me Daredevil, just the more D you can throw at me, the more DD you can throw at me, I'm just going to take it in. I love me some DD. I can't get enough of the DD. Anyway, so Indestructible Hulk issue number 9 was pretty cool. Gonna finish the story arc, and yeah, the art in it was pretty cool too. So a lot of people didn't want Walt Simonson to leave, but what'd you expect? Next comic here, really close to being my pick of the week, and probably I would rate this and the comic that is my pick of the week the same. But I don't know. I just really liked some elements in my pick of the week a little bit more than I did in this. But this comic was amazing, really, and not to be, punny and stuff by saying it's amazing. In fact, it's superior, and that's of course the Superior Spider-Man issue number 12. This book has just been really good, and I've been saying a lot. Book's been good. Still miss Peter Parker. In this situation, I'm really liking how, again, I really do want Peter Parker back, but, I'm not complaining so much as to seeing how, how Doc Ock is kind of handling himself in now these pressure situations, being Peter Parker, or being Spider-Man, I should say. He's kind of running into places, like at first he was kind of dealing with the regular stuff, just, whatever, and thinking, oh, this is all Spider-Man does, and being really cocky about it. But now he's running into situations that are actually challenging, and where he's still very cocky in this issue. You see the stakes have definitely upped, and it's really cool seeing this. And I'm enjoying this. I still want Green Goblin stuff, but I'm not disappointed with this at all. Dan Slott does a great job, and I really enjoy the Cameron Coley art, even though some people, didn't like it as much because it's coming from Stegman, and, from Stegman to anybody really, unless you go like Stegman to Capullo or something, it's going to be a big difference. So, but me personally, I really like the art in this. Anything I didn't like? Not really. He doesn't say he's the Superior Spider-Man at all in this, so I was definitely happy about that. And the story is just going really cool. There's a lot of things are turning for big turns in this, so I'm excited to see how everything pans out. And there's a lot of great stuff that they're gonna end up doing with this Doc Ock Spidey before they bring Peter Parker back. As we know, next month coming in the Superior Carnage, and I cannot wait for that. But I guess I'll talk about that another time when it's more appropriate. But anyways, Superior Spider-Man issue number 12, really solid issue, really enjoying it, and you know how much it pains me to say that. And then finally, the only book that I got or that I read that wasn't Marvel, and it turns out to be my pick of the week, and it's from DC, and it's Animal Man issue number 21. I didn't know if this was going to be a really good starting off point, but definitely is a great jumping on point. If you want to read Animal Man, I definitely suggest that you can start off with this. Maybe a little confused a bit on some parts, but I I think you could get the gist of it if you hadn't been reading. But the way that they explore social media in this issue was just so good that it made it my pick of the week for that reason, and then just the story behind it, and everything that's been going on in Buddy Baker's life, and just all the Animal Man stuff, all his personal stuff, and just everything together. And a lot of the story is told through kind of like Twitter. It's not Twitter, but it's kind of like Twitter. And I think that's really cool to see, what people are more concerned about in their tweets, and then to see the art showing what's actually happening with Buddy Baker. So there's this part, closer at the start of the book, we got a bunch of people tweeting about Buddy Baker being nominated for pretty much an Oscar or whatever type of thing, being nominated for that, congratulating him. They got that. They definitely play on the stereotypes that you see on a lot of social media people. So you have, the person, you have the girl that's always like, oh, I love him because he's hot, and I support him because he's hot. Then you have I'm guessing the older woman that is just a super fan of the person, and then puts God bless at the end of every, tweet, pretty much. And then you got the guy that's a real douchebag and is like, well, I don't give a damn if his kid died, or, why should I care about him or whatever, and his movies suck. And even the profile pictures are definitely just spot on. This book does so many things right with the writing and the art together. So you're seeing all these tweets about, really focusing on his movie stuff that he's got going on, and then people like, oh, where's Animal Man now? I support you, and all this other kind of stuff. And then you just see Buddy Baker alone, just just self-loathing himself, just in a state of self-loathing, and just chugging down the beers and all that kind of stuff. So definitely the art and the writing go together very nicely in this. And Jeff Lemire does a great job. And who's the artist on here? Steve Pugh, definitely doing an awesome job as well. And the way this story ends up, it's freaky, man. It's definitely holding up to that that horror feel. Horror, not horror. The horror feel. And the art definitely exploits that. So anyways, those are the books that I read, and I thought they were pretty good as themselves. Age of Ultron, fuck that thing. Gosh, such a disappointment. And there's a bunch of artist changes in it, but I already did my review on it. But hopefully I get the thumbnails in the description, so check those out if you don't want to see everything else. But that's it for me, guys. I'm going to be doing the Sunday brunch on my channel since Scott can't be here. Scott's going to a Tigers game, so check out my channel for the Sunday brunch. Going to be around 12, 12:15, 12:30. It's going to start around those times. Hopefully I can get people on like Mike from Longbox, Tim, maybe I can get Kevin and Frank, and I've Doomfly Daddy, and I've invited some other people that don't necessarily get on these things, so maybe we can see some appearances by other people. But anyways, that's it for me, guys. I'm Wellington signing off with Comic Book Lowdown, and I'll see you guys next time.